It's Tuesday, May 19th. I'm driving home in my new Lifetime hat, which I'm so excited about. I've been wanting a Lifetime hat for a long time. I love hats. I very much like hats. And I got this for exceeding expectations in something, so I'm thrilled. I wasn't expecting this, and it came today, so what a nice little surprise. And I got a gift card to Life Shop. Nice. Gotta love that. So I'm driving home now. It is hot, but not complaining hot. It's 93 real feel. Car says 86. It just said 87. And this is gonna last like a day because it's gonna be 50 degrees tomorrow. But we're gonna take it where we can. And I also think it's gonna storm later. But it is beautiful right now. A little cloudy, but otherwise good. So I'm on my way home now, and I'm excited and kind of jazzed up because I have therapy in like 25 minutes, and I very much like my therapist. Her name's Jill. Jill and I have been working together for a year and a half now. If it hasn't been quite a year and a half, it's coming up on a year and a half. It's so bright out. And it's just been great through everything, so many things. And I never realized, and I haven't talked about this on here, I never realized how significant therapy could be until I started going to therapy. I started therapy in the fall of 2024. It was during my last prep. It was not other reasons beyond prep that I decided therapy was a good place to start, and it has truly been life-changing for me. I very much believe everybody should be in therapy at some point in their lives, and I'm not talking like a month, 2 months, 6 months. I mean, really digging deep, because it really is amazing how much you'll learn about yourself. And what I have enjoyed about the process so much is I've come to a better understanding about who I am as a person, about my boundaries, understanding and processing emotions, and not living so much in a go state. And it really took somebody else calling out my BS to help me become a better version of myself. And I know I'm showing up better every single day because of it. And I've gotten to a point with Jill where we do touch points. It's usually once every 4 weeks. This one has gone much longer. It's been, I think, 6 weeks now, I think. So we have a lot to unpack because there's been a lot that's happened. And this is going to be the first time, though I was in prep last time, I started going to therapy. Prep was not a discussion in my therapy sessions. I had other things going on in life that really needed my full attention when it came to therapy and all of that. So this time around, though, I'm excited to, when we met 6 weeks ago, we talked about, like, I was at the very beginning of starting prep, but now we're getting deeper into it. And the mental aspect of prep, arguably, is the toughest component of it. And I do know that there are things I need to work through. I think I have a lot of self-awareness, much more than I ever had in my life. But I still think there's a lot that we're going to be digging into here. We're also going to talk about receiving my diagnosis the other week. We're going to talk through that because it has been a strong topic for discussion between us the last couple months. I'm excited for this because I feel like today I have therapy with Jill, and I think we're gonna unpack a lot with how I feel about all of it, just how I approach day to day, how I look at myself, my self-talk, how I approach these weeks as we get closer and closer and closer. And I've used this term before, but prep goggles are a thing, but it's not a healthy thing. And you can say that all you want, but do you really understand that? And I think that's something I want to dive into deeper, because especially when I get done with this chapter of life that I'm in with competing, I don't want this to be affecting my life, my body image, how my family sees and hears all that. Like, it matters to me greatly. So I'm excited to start having this discussion now. And I also feel strongly this is great that this is happening today, because tomorrow I have my first call with Rael. I'm so excited. Every time I get off that we do a live chat, every time, one, it always goes so much longer than we anticipate, but two, I always leave so jazzed up after it. And I just feel like having these back-to-back days is going to be, though Rael is not a therapist and that's not her role, I just know it's going to be very therapeutic to talk to each of these women in different ways that help me become a better version of myself. And that makes me feel very excited this week. So I'm heading home now. I'm not gonna have a lot of time, but I have everything written out that I want to talk about. I keep a journal, and so I'm gonna reflect back on my journal from the last time we spoke and make sure that she gave me a little bit of homework to work on. I want to touch on some of those things and just make sure I feel good, set up my space, because I like having my space all set and calm before I go into therapy, and then we'll do therapy. So that's Tuesday. Oh, I should have touched on this earlier too. I had a really good leg day. Tuesdays are typically leg day, and then I had 20 minutes of cardio to follow, and I said I know that cardio is probably going to increase a bit. I know I've said this before. I'm hoping that we keep it capped at 30 minutes. That's what it was last time. I'm doing 20 still at the moment, but the incline walk-in is it's just a little monotonous sometimes. I mean, you're just set it, forget it, let's go. I will say my intensity has the chance to improve because my cardiovascular system is improving. So now I'm walking at a 12% incline at a 3.5 mile per hour speed and holding my heart rate pretty steady around 145 to 150. So I included today 5 minutes first on the ski erg. I wanted some upper body movement. I like the ski erg, especially in a zone 2 pace. Just easy, continuous, not overly strenuous. And so I did 5 minutes there and I 15 minutes on the treadmill. It was just a nice way to break it up. I had thought about doing 5 on the ski erg, 5 walk, 5 row, 5 walk. Like, you're doing a lot, so chill. Anyways, I did all that. I felt really strong in my workouts today, which is great because yesterday was a low day, today is a low day. So I have a lot of energy today, and nothing was out of the ordinary consumed. So feel good. Tomorrow's going to be a practice day, so I'm hoping this energy continues to carry over to tomorrow. Especially, I'll have a call with Rael, and I'm going to take it from home and then go right to practice. And I'm hoping, again, because I just know these calls always jazz me up, I am really looking forward to having a good practice tomorrow. Mentioned last video, I'm not practicing this weekend, so this is going to be my one and only practice for the week, and then I'm going to let my body, we're going to lift Thursday, we're going to lift Friday, cardio both days, but then I am taking it the weekend off of lifting routine and just relaxing with family. So, all right, I'm out. We'll talk later. Hi. It is Wednesday, May 20th. It's 3:30. I'm on my way to practice. I'm not quite there yet. And this is exciting. I had this epiphany moment as I was doing my pre-practice prep. So what that means, during the weekends are different because slow mornings, usually, slow mornings, I have my meal one. My meal one has a good amount of carb in it between my oats and blueberries. But anyway, so because the weekday, I've mentioned before, my weekday practice always hits a little bit harder, and I want to protect performance as much as possible and have a productive practice where I don't have to hold back on output. So today, Wednesday specifically, I pump up my meal to carbs a bit. So when I ate at 11, I ate today at 11:15. I had a whole cup of cooked rice and I had a cup of peas in there, and that all just adds to the carb load. And then about 10 minutes ago, before I left my place, I had a rice cake and a date. Just kind of smashed onto the rice cake, and I'm what's about to come out of my mouth is 100% prep mode, but it was great. It was great. I love dates and just that crunch, and I smashed it on the rice cake. If I had more time, I would have made like a date paste, and I just didn't. But ooh, that hit great today. So that gave me probably about 30, maybe 30 carbs. My meal 3 that I've talked about, I think the last video I showed it, my salad, there's just not a lot of carb. Today I got a whole 2 strawberries in my salad, but that's not enough to fuel my practice for what I expect out of it. So anyways, I got myself ready. We're on our way in. And as I was doing this and getting myself ready, I realized this is probably the first time I'm stepping into practice with no notes. When I say no notes, I mean we don't need to sub something out. We don't need to work on da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I get to go in, put my head down, and just get to work. And that, I like being in this place where I don't have anxiety about skills. I know what I'm coming in to do. I have practice plans when I go in, and now I'm gonna use the word coast when I just talk about, like, coast as in this is the plan, execute the plan. I don't mean coast like, oh, we're in a great place and we don't push. No, we do. I will practice probably until 5. It's gonna be a 75 to 90 minute practice. There's 2 things that from here on out call practice for me. First one is how the body feels. If we start going downhill fast, I'm not going to keep pushing to create an injury or an unnecessary strain on my body when I'm starting to feel my body give out. Or 2, I will go until I see my strain hit a certain level on my whoop strap or my output. So that is how I will gauge it. But ultimately what this looks like from here on out, I will warm up. I will be doing a full routine today because, again, I'm not practicing this weekend. So I will throw a full routine at the very beginning, and then I will run my quarters with 45 seconds between, which it's getting easier to do, and that's exciting. When I say easier, I don't want to make it sound easy. It ain't easy, but it's getting easier. I'll do that, and then I'm kind of at a point where I should be shifting into fifths to clean even more. I'm gonna see how my body feels. It's a lot more load than I'm used to. Usually I get done with my quarters or thirds. I've kind of been between the 2. And then I'll go into skill work with added weight on my body. But we're gonna see. If my body's feeling good, which I'm feeling a little pep right now. Caffeine. So I did not, here's something interesting that came more to my attention this past week. I still think there's something to be said about overdoing the energy drink situation for me and my body. What I haven't taken into account for is I do wake up in the morning and I have a mushroom coffee. So between my 2 cups, it's probably 78 milligrams. Not really a huge hit of caffeine, but still caffeine. For my lifts that I do for 4 days a week, I do have a pre-workout. It's got 200 milligrams caffeine. Well, now add on the practice. So the days where my lift overlaps with practice, that's the issue for me, is 500 milligrams is too much. So I'm actually contemplating going to a non-caffeinated pre-workout in general for lifts, and then only utilizing caffeine when it comes to routine. I'm tossing around that idea. We'll see what happens. I need to figure that out sooner than later. Anyways, all that to say, I did not have caffeine earlier today beyond my 2 small mushroom coffees this morning. So I have a Bloom energy drink today. So this will be my only one for the week. It's got 180 milligrams caffeine. I'm almost done with it. I'll finish it once I get to the gym and let that carry me through, which I expect to have happen. I did not end up talking with Rael today. She ended up having something urgent she had to attend to, so not a big deal. I had my check-in with her this past weekend. We are officially kicking off on June 1st together. So this is our preparation time together. And she's been there for me along the way. Like, she's not there. I've sent her pictures, I've sent her routines. She's aware of where I'm at, but getting fully on, like I said before, like her being in the driver's seat, that's going to happen on June 1st. So this was just a call to review everything I sent her. I put together 9 pages. Rude. I put together 9 pages of information for her this past week. Table of contents and all, my whole life. Here you go. Please take it over. So I included my nutrition, my training, my supplements, my schedule, and just recent stuff that has come up with my labs, all my labs, my MRI results, and then she obviously has my routine. I did my check-in. So she has literally my whole life. And the whole point of that is, let's make this transition as easy as possible for her to understand where I'm at. And what I appreciated last time is she didn't totally uproot my whole life overnight, which I think is great, to not fully shock your system. And that's something she did really well with me last time around, was she took what I was doing and just kind of tweaked it, built in more, taught me a lot. And really taught me going into this, like, prep should be an extension of your lifestyle. And so your lifestyle should build off of this, and hopefully we build habits that support a healthy lifestyle moving forward. And so this is where I tell you, I've eaten the literal same breakfast for 2 years now. The only thing that has changed going through prep is the portion size changes a little, but same on most accounts. So she's got all that. I assume we'll do our call sometime next week, and then she'll have my plan. Though we kick off on June 1st, I assume she'll have everything to me about 7 days in advance. That's about kind of how I do with my clients too, is here it is, look it over. Any changes you need to make, or you have questions, start to stock up. She might want me to sub out supplements or add more, or give me the opportunity to look into things, ask questions before I start taking something if I'm going to. All that good stuff. So, well, that to be said, we did not talk today. So we will soon. But overall, I'm feeling good. I feel like this is the last week now. I do feel like prep is settling in a little bit more, which this is official. I mean, we are definitely 9 weeks in, pushing 10, and with another currently 9 to go, 8 on Friday. I'm definitely starting to feel a little bit of that settling in. So there are some things in my life I need to not reevaluate, but I just need to start focusing on sleep a little bit more and being a bit more intentional. I think that will help with how I feel day to day and just my energy levels, and not having to lean into caffeine, because that's really what I do not want to have happen. I didn't do that last time, despite my everything happening in my life on the last prep. I didn't do that, but I did in previous preps, and I know how I felt, and I know it wasn't a great, like, if I step back and have an honest conversation with myself, I was running on fumes, and I've said this before, I'm not trying to run on fumes for weeks on end going into this. I want to keep the system healthy, very healthy. So anyways, I will check back in after practice. Since I'm not going to be practicing this weekend, I assume we're probably not going to be chatting too much. So we'll talk after practice. I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe slide in a clip or two, depending. And that's it. All right, bye. Okay. 170 is not bad. That's not bad. Okay. 176. 176 sounds good. Everything hit. Yeah. All right, you just saw it. Woohoo! We hit another full out. How exciting. Practice overall, good. It was an hour and 22 minutes is where I capped it at. I did end up doing conditioning at the end. My body felt good until I hit the number I was looking for on my whoop strap for the day. I literally at one point I'm like, I just have to go this little extra bit, and I just started marking through my routine and throwing the few skills that I know in the routine are the ones that I have to work the hardest on. But overall, really happy. It makes my heart feel full to know that second time around I've done a full out. I'm able to do a full out. We're doing it. We're running it. This is great, and we're hitting it. And it, as I mentioned, my heart rate capped at 176. I think that's fantastic to see that. Definitely, I mean, it's hard, but when I got done with it, I didn't feel as gassed as Sunday, which, I mean, it's only 3 days later, so that's good. But I feel really good with where this is sitting, considering we're still north of 8 weeks out. Really good. And 10 weeks out from Toronto. Plus more if we continue the season. So I feel really, really good about that. And I think the more it's showing me that the routine conditioning is working. And I think this is why it's so important to walk in practice with a plan, and not just I'm going to show up and just keep throwing stuff, but structure to your practices. And I think that's why running these full outs the past 2 practices now have not been a huge struggle. Today's was definitely a little cleaner than Sunday's. That's good. And it's, it's effort. It's digging that extra, like 1% more when you're getting tired and just want to be like, ugh, just let me get through it. It's not having that attitude, or that you have to. I'm speaking to anybody who competes in this. You can't. It's hard, yeah, but everything in your body, you're squeezing everything. You're pointing toes, fingers. Are you present and cognizant of what you're doing, or are you just going through the motions? To me, that's what routine conditioning means, is are you conditioned enough to not have, like, if you're so focused on like, I just need to breathe and get through it, how are we possibly going to clean this up? How are we possibly going to get into those little details that bring out performance even more? So all in all, like I said, I'm really happy with where it's at. I'm also happy because when I ran my sections today, usually when I run the sections and I have my short break, run it, I go back to my iPad, I review it, and then I'll save my favorite version. And usually there's a, I don't want to say like clear front runner, but usually there's one where I'm like, yeah, I'm taking run. It's never run 1, which is wild. It's always run 2 or 3. Today though, every section but 1, I had 2 that I couldn't really decide between. And again, to me, that screams progress. Is like we are performing more consistently, and it's just the small things. When I don't enjoy a run, it's more so like, okay, I wasn't looking at the judges here, or maybe my arm wasn't in the proper place, or maybe my toe is just not as pointed as I think it can be. It's very much so nitpicky, but details matter. So I'm excited now to, I'm going to step away from routine for a full week. And so I'm not going to come back to this till next Wednesday. And I think my body's at a point where it's a welcomed week off. My shoulder was really bothering me today. And once I got warmed up, I thought twice about it as I started to do my back talk. I'm like, oh, my arms, like, shoulder's not feeling great. And here I am going to whip my arm over top of my head. And same with push-ups, because it was really bothering me at work today. But once I warmed up, I was fine. It didn't start bothering me until last night. We were laying on the couch, and then I went to get up. I didn't do anything. So I think I was just in a weird position, and I noticed some tension in my traps and scapula, like today when I was working on the hypervolt with it, just trying to feel it out. So I'm happy that once I started moving, it was fine. However, I do think, again, this is just a welcomed week off of routine. So we got 7 days before we're back at this to let my body rest. I'm just going to pour into recovery, refueling, keeping my body happy, lots of mobility still. Gonna incorporate a little bit more band work. I do band work every time I do upper body. I'm always using bands, but I'll do a little bit more of that kind of rehab work just to make sure I'm keeping my rotator cuffs happy. And so that's really it. This week it's normal. Tomorrow, normal work day. Friday, normal work day. And just prepping to get ready for a family weekend with Matt's family to celebrate Memorial Day. They do a big family gathering, and so I've got a lot of food to prep because we will be gone for a full 2 days. And you know, this is the life, right? I gotta prep a lot of food to make sure that I'm just prepared for the weekend, so it's not, we don't have to second guess anything. It's just grab and go. So tomorrow and Friday, I will start the process of getting my life together on that side. But that's really it. So we're just, again, north of 8 weeks out. We feel good. 10 weeks out from, plus 10 weeks, over 10 weeks from Toronto. So even better for that one. And so on and so forth, depending on how things roll out. So kind of like last week, this is going to be a short one, but good stuff overall. All right, I will talk to you later. Happy Memorial Day ahead of time. And we will check in as we come into the 8-week out mark. Bye. Hi. Okay, I thought the last video was going to be it. It turns out bonus footage. I had something occur today that I wanted to share because this feels, I like when moments like this happen. It's like the universe just speaks to us in strange ways. And that happened today. So I am doing my cardio. And while I do cardio, I watch shocking vlogs. So I was watching Jacqueline Baker today. If you don't compete in fitness or you know nothing about this, she competes in IFBB fitness. She's had a very successful career in IFBB fitness, and I'm a big fan of Jacqueline's performances. I think she does a beautiful job of the way she presents her skill, herself, the performance, just all of it is so good. And I think it was last year, Arnold UK, she did a routine to Pat Benatar Heartbreaker. It is in my top 3 favorite fitness routines of all time. I loved it. If you've never seen it, search Jacqueline Baker Heartbreaker. You will find it on YouTube. It's worth the 2 minutes to watch this routine. She does such a beautiful job always, but especially in that routine, the delivery of it, the showmanship, the connection with the musicality, the execution of every skill, like no stone unturned in that routine. It was so good. So I'm saying all that because I'm watching her YouTube today, her vlog, updating what life is like. And at the end of her vlog, she mentions that she is at a point where she still does not know what she's going to do. She's competing in the Olympia again. She doesn't know what she's going to do with her routine. Funny enough, so last year, right after the Olympia, I'm listening to my Spotify. I have a very eclectic taste in music. We are all over the place. And so I'll just let my Spotify run through and we're at the mercy of the Spotify gods. I hear a song come on last year that immediately I pause and I think, this one, I wish this fit my genre of who I am as a performer, but it doesn't, and that's okay. It doesn't need to. But immediately I was like, this is Jacqueline written all over it. Like this song is worthy of an Olympia stage. It's powerful and it's deep. Like for where she's been, I just felt like too, the messaging behind it, like, yes, this is you. I had thought about messaging her this because I felt very strongly. And then I thought, Melissa, you've met Jacqueline like twice in person for 3 seconds. Don't be weird. Don't overstep. The funny thing about this, and Andrea just said it on her video. Now, mind you, I've worked with Andrea, so this is different, but the other week, Andrea posts a little snippet of her skill work, and here I am in her DMs like, hey, I think you could make this. I'm just sticking my nose where it does not belong. And so I did last year. I was like, you know what? No, don't be that person. At the end of Jacqueline's vlog that I watched today, as she says she doesn't know what she's going to do this season, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is your chance to voice your opinion that now is being asked for. So I sent Jacqueline a message and I sent over the link to Spotify and I said like how I felt about it and why. And she responded back and she had said very kind things, just being appreciative of watching and following her journey. But then went on to say that this song in particular, not necessarily the version I sent her, but this song has been on her radar for years. And she said she had been heavily thinking about putting it out there this year. And she's like, maybe this is the sign I needed, that this is the year we do it. And I just think, how cool is this? Like that, I think the universe gives you what you need. And well, obviously if she comes up with something different, go Jacqueline. But I think when occurrences happen like this, it's something to not ignore. And so I'm very excited. I hope she chooses to go with this and this version maybe mixed with another one because it has such impactful moments. And I can just see in my head how she would do it. And it's so good. And this is the exciting part of the sport is I've had the chance, and I have mentioned earlier videos, and obviously you've seen Chrissy as of recent. We've talked about Andrea, and we've talked about Allison, but I've had the chance to help other people in the sport indirectly in a lot of different ways. And listen, let's call it what it is. I hope to be on the Olympia stage. I hope to take a swing at it as well. But I also want every single person to show up and absolutely smash, because this division deserves the recognition. Every woman who competes in this division is strong and powerful and works so damn hard to be up there that I don't want anybody to show up at less than their 150%. So please come after it. And I show up at my best, and then the cards fall where they may, but this is what sports is all about. Like, this is the exciting part, this is what drives everybody to keep digging deeper and to develop. You won't, in any athletic endeavor, you're never going to develop fully as an athlete if you don't have people also pushing you to that end. And that's what makes this so exciting to me, is like, I live for the routine round of fitness, and I wish more people understood it and saw it, because it's so exciting to see how incredible the human body is at this level, to be able to witness how it moves, and the strength and the power and the grit and the grind and the just mental capacity it takes to not just prep to be on stage, but also to layer in, I'm going to show up and I'm going to perform for 2 minutes at my maximum heart rate, and I'm going to do some cool stuff for you. I just think it's so fun. I love it. Obviously, I wouldn't do this if I didn't think that. So anyways, that's my story for today. So we will see what comes over the next several months, but I just thought that was a cool antidote to share about. Sometimes you hesitate on doing things, and maybe I should have just sent it last year. Maybe I should have just put my nose somewhere it doesn't belong. And maybe that's a sign for me, because I have a song that I've heard recently that I've thought of another athlete in IFBB, and I'm like, I should let her know this. But then I'm like, what if she doesn't want the feedback? Like, what if she's like, oh, get out of here. Like, this isn't me. But I also feel like when you watch an athlete so many times, you get to know their aura and like their presentation, and you kind of start to see, like, this is like, Oksana is a great example of it. I'm going so far beyond where I was at previous. Oksana is such a good example of that. Like, she had a very specific way of performing. Whitney Jones had a very specific way of performing. And I think you have athletes who get on stage and they really own their style, whatever that may be. And then you hear things, you're like, oh, that's them. And I've had that also happen with somebody else recently. And so I've thought about, should I do it? Should I not? Maybe I should start doing it when I hear it. So, okay, that's it. I need to clean this place and start prepping some food for the weekend. So again, it's Thursday. I hope that you have a great Memorial Day. I'll see you later and next week.